Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Almost Martha. And I'm kind of in the season. I'm going to be making some cranberry orange bread, make a nice little gifty or something just nice to have Christmas morning or any morning this week. So it's very easy and super delicious. So hang on, let's do it together, a cranberry orange bread. I have my oven turned on at 350 and I'm going to be using a loaf pan. So that's what we're going to bake this cake in. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, to which I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of my beautiful diamond crystal salt. If you're using normal kosher salt, you would just do half a teaspoon. That goes right into my flour. And we're going to just whisk that together a little bit and put it to the side. We are also going to do a little zesting. I need 1 tablespoon of zested orange. So let me just take care of that. I have my zester, I have my orange. Here we go. I'm just gonna zest about a tablespoon. And I'm doing that right on top of 1 cup of granulated sugar. So 1 cup sugar, and I'm just gonna get enough zest for about a tablespoon. Okay, so that's really about this entire orange it took to get the equivalent of about a tablespoon. So that's good. We're gonna juice this a little later. I'm gonna put some of this into the icing or the little glaze that we'll make. Okay, all good. So reserve the rest of that orange. Now I'm just going to mix this orange zest in with the sugar. I would just sort of mix it in. And you can also take your fingers and just work that zest into that sugar. I used a spoon just to kind of distribute it, and now my fingers are working it into that sugar. So now I really have some very orange looking sugar. Okay, now I have another bowl where I'm gonna put some liquid ingredients. So I'm gonna grab a spatula. I have half a cup of buttermilk. Okay. To that, I'm gonna just pour in the same cup a half cup of canola oil. Pour that right in. And I have a half cup of orange juice. All that goes in. And now I'm going to add 2 eggs. You know, I never trust my egg breaking, so I always do it on the side. And when it's a nice clean break, then I go ahead and put it in the batter. Okay. It looks good. And it goes. Okay. Now we're going to add vanilla. And I'm not using my vanilla bean paste today. Today I'm using this beautiful clear Mexican vanilla that was given to me as a gift. So this will kind of keep the cake nice and light looking. So the color will be nice. So a little more than a teaspoon. You know, I always double the vanilla because it makes a big difference. So now we have all of our wet ingredients. Just going to give that a little slosh. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Thanks to the egg. Be right back. So now we're just going to start. We're going to take our flour mixture. We're going to add some of that right into our bowl. Okay. Add a bit more. As a matter of fact, I think it's safe just to put the whole thing in there. So this is just that flour, baking soda, and salt mixture. We're adding it to our liquid. While that's mixing in, we're going to go ahead and add our sugar, our lovely orange sugar. Gosh, it's such a pretty fragrant thing. Beautiful. Now, you don't want to overmix. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to make sure that everything gets incorporated. So we're not going to use a mixer on this. We're just going to use some elbow grease and make sure all the flour gets incorporated without over mixing it. I know it's really hard to figure that out. Really, really hard to figure that out. Okay, everything looks pretty well incorporated, but this is our only chance to do it because we're going to be adding the cranberries in, and then it'll be harder to see what needs to be mixed in a little bit more well. You could have some flour lumps. They all don't have to come out, but I would take sort of the larger ones out and just sort of mash them against the bowl to break up that little blob of flour there. Okay. Okay, great. Now we're going to add our cranberries. So I have 1.5 cups of cranberries that I have already rinsed. And I pick through, these are fresh cranberries. I pick through them to get out any stems or anything like that. There were also a couple of squishy cranberries and I picked those out. So this is 1.5 cups of nice, fresh, clean cranberries that we're going to add right into our cake. Okay. Now, if you have a problem with the fruit sinking to the bottom, you can kind of dust those cranberries with a little bit of flour. I find it doesn't make that much difference, so I tend not to do that because it just adds a little too much flour to the mix. So now we're pretty much there. All we have to do is put it in the oven. I'm going to take my Pam butter spray and I'm going to spray this really well. We don't want it to stick, and the butter flavor will be really nice with this cake. So, all right, here we go. Right into the loaf pan. And the cranberries are sort of nice and distributed throughout. Okay, beautiful. I've always loved cranberry. There's a great cranberry pork roast recipe that I'll share with you. Really good. Now I'm just going to take a knife and I'm just going to sort of flick the cranberries around. So when this is served, of course, this will be flipped. So some of these cranberries on top may sink during baking. That's totally fine. Pulling them away just from the sides a little bit toward the center. And then we're gonna put it in our 350 oven. And this takes a while to bake. So anywhere from 60 to 75 minutes, depending upon your oven. But we'll start to look at it at about 1 hour, and then we'll see where we are with that. So here we go. So while the cake is baking, I just wanted to take a minute and let you know a little something. Ever since I started this show about 3 years ago, I've always said hi to my mom, hi mom, and she loved it. She loved it. We hadn't lived in the same city, in the same state for a long time, and this was better than a phone call. And she got to see me on the cooking show, and she saw me make her recipes. Boy, did she love it when I did her recipes. So that was a lot of fun, and I got to share a lot of the things that she taught me about cooking, about life, about all of that good stuff. And I'm gonna still say hi to my mom, even though we lost her this year. We lost her the day before Thanksgiving. And, makes things difficult during the holidays, but it's also brought a lot of joy. I'm gonna host a brunch on Christmas Day, which is something that she always did. I'm gonna try and make her biscuits. Oh my goodness, her biscuits were the best ever, just a mile high and incredible. So she will be with me and she will be with us. And I'm gonna continue to say hi, Mom, on all of the shows. So, hi, Mom. I pulled it out of the oven. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. And lots of cranberries and nooks and crannies and all that good stuff in there. So it looks really good. I'll have you know that this really is the top. It's not the bottom. So the cranberries didn't sink. They all stayed on top. So all that's great. It gives it a really lovely, lovely look. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on just a little bit of icing, a little bit of glaze. And I have about a half cup of powdered sugar here. And I took that remaining orange and I squeezed it. So I'm just going to add, that was 1 tablespoon. I'm just going to add, but this can really go quickly. So a little more. Maybe half a tablespoon. Okay, great. So 1.5 tablespoons of fresh orange juice to a half cup of powdered sugar. The cake is still warm, but it's not hot. So I am just gonna drizzle this on top, and the warmth left in the cake will really kind of work to make this melt right in and look good too. So how lovely is that? So this is going to be a gift. So I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I will wrap it in wax paper and put it in a nice little gift bag. So this will be a nice gift that you can give a friend. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. So I took a little bit of the dough and I put it on the side because I wanted to be able to taste it, make sure it's good. I mean, I'm sure it is, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I'm just going to break it open. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, that's great. Mm. Mm. Oh, yeah. That is really good. That's really good. Well, that's really good too. Oh. Oh, yeah. This is really, really good. And it's really, really pretty. This is going to make a really nice little gifty. If you want this recipe, you can go to almost-martha.com where you will find it along with all the other recipes that I've done. And this is going to be great. This will be great on Christmas morning. It'll be a nice festive little, quick bread. As you saw, it was really easy to put together. All you need is that loaf pan and you are good to go. So, thanks for stopping by and thanks for thinking about giving this a try. I really want you to make it because it is really, really good. Perfect for this kind of time of year. So thanks again. We'll see you next time right here on Almost Martha. Please follow me on YouTube and Instagram. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.